Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, let's get into the whole thing about the FUD with HBAR and BlackRock, because it seems like this has got really blown out of hand, and I did address it lightly, but I'm going to address it in a bit more detail because I'm seeing how big of a deal this is becoming now. And to me, I'll be honest with you, I think part of this, in terms of like the price action, I think we can attribute some of this down to the articles that were put out. I think they could have easily had a huge negative impact on the price here. So let's get into this. The whole kerfuffle that's been going on right now is because basically it's turned out that BlackRock themselves have not chose to tokenize on Hedera. It's basically another company tokenizing one of BlackRock's funds on Hedera. Now, the first thing I'll say about this is, look, to me, the whole misunderstanding of this is people just reading titles and not reading the full-fledged release. Because to me, if you read the full-fledged release, I didn't think it was misleading, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people saw BlackRock, got excited, and then it was just rushing off to say, you know, BlackRock, whatever. Now, look, in regards to what's actually going on here, so it turning out to be like another company tokenizing BlackRock's fund, the thing for me is like, this doesn't change anything. Like, this doesn't necessarily mean now like, oh, this is terrible or whatever. Because, okay, let me put it to you like this. First and foremost, we already know this, but I will just clear this up. We've got a post here from Graham, who works for Archax, and he actually says this here, look. All parties involved were aware that we were tokenizing on Hedera. We always speak to issuers before tokenizing their assets on chain. So what he's basically saying there is BlackRock knew about the release. And there was another post, and I think it was by Graham as well. He actually said BlackRock read the release and gave them the okay. They actually gave them the go ahead to release the press statement. So BlackRock are aware of this. This isn't something where people have just took BlackRock's fund and BlackRock unknowingly have just had a fund tokenized and they're not even aware of this. No, they were notified. Like, Archax is a UK FCA regulated company. They're doing things above board. So this isn't something where BlackRock were completely in the dark and didn't know. They were fully aware. And they actually said it's okay to release the press statement. So if they thought it was okay to release the press statement, clearly they were happy with the wording of the press statement, right? Because if they wasn't, they would have said, no, we're not happy with that. Can you amend this, this and this? Or we think you've worded it poorly. No. So again, this clearly shows you that this is people misinterpreting or going with the headline and not reading the full thing. So again, like, people are getting upset, but I think this is people jumping to conclusions, and this includes CoinDesk. I think they handled this terribly. So to me, when people are getting like really upset about this, like, I get it because of the price. I know, I saw what happened. So obviously that's not the best. I do understand that. But can we blame Hedera for people's misinterpretations? And then they had the whole media giving a complete inaccurate article about it as well, just on top of that. Like, you know, like, I just think that this is something that's really been blown out of proportion. And I do think that Hedera, again, a bit of the rough end of the stick here, because, you know, a lot of people are angry because of the price action now, and they're just blaming Hedera. And it's like, I really don't look at this as Hedera's issue. Like, and yes, they have had to clarify it, but I think the reason why they've clarified it is because a lot of people misinterpreted what was said, right? So, yeah, like, I don't know. To me, I really didn't think this was Hedera's error, to be honest with you. But I think, obviously, the way some people picked up on it and the way they addressed it, they were very negative. And to be honest with you, like, I think part of it might have been jealousy, because one of the people who was, you know, going on about this was a Cardano developer. And so was this a thing where they saw this huge news about HBAR and saw how great an impact it was having on price and just wanted to kind of, you know, spoil the mood? Do you know what I mean? Because my thing is this, even if it's not BlackRock directly saying, hey, we're, working on Hedera. My thing is this, it doesn't dwindle what's been done here. There is still a tokenized fund of BlackRock on Hedera. That is incredible. So one other thing I just want to show you in regards to this, I'll just quickly say this. Fund tokenization, a thread which may help with some confusion. Let me set the scene and please try stay with me to the end. Archax is an FCA regulated broker, custodian and exchange and registered crypto asset provider in the UK. So again, we're not dealing with some random company here. They're regulated. So this is what I mean. Like when we're talking about them tokenizing with BlackRock, they're not going to just do whatever they want to do. That's not going to happen. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this because it's quite in-depth, but the main point I want to get to is what's just proving the point. Let me just scroll down a bit more. Okay, this is the one I wanted to show you. If we decide to tokenize, arguably, we do not need to approach the investment manager, but we always do as we want long-term relationships. The investment manager's level of involvement can vary, but both Aberdeen and BlackRock were aware that we were tokenizing on Hedera. So there you have it, guys. If BlackRock had an issue with this, yes, don't get me wrong, they couldn't necessarily have stopped them, but they could have had an issue with it, right? And as soon as the news come out, BlackRock could have came out and said, hey, we ain't condoning this. We're not actually happy about this, but we can't stop it. That's not what happened. They actually gave the okay for the press statement because they were involved. They were aware of this. And this makes sense because, as they've just said, they don't want to tarnish relationships, right? So think about it like this. If you can just go ahead and do what you want, yeah, okay, cool. Go ahead and do what you want. But if BlackRock don't like it, would you expect to have any kind of business dealings with them in the future? No, right? Like, clearly what would happen is BlackRock will be like, okay, do what you want, but don't think you're going to have any kind of dealings with us in the future. And any company knows that BlackRock is the biggest asset management company in the world. So that's not a relationship you want to tarnish, right? So then just one last thing. Let's just get to the press statement, right? You do know that, let's just say if the press statement was deliberately misleading, etc., and they'd kind of used BlackRock's name to try and, give themselves some good press. You do understand that BlackRock could sue them for that, right? So again, like, not only did they give the okay, but, they have to be careful with this kind of stuff because you can't just use a company's name to boost up your own company. You can't do that. So, when I take all that into consideration, to me, guys, like, I just think this was a misunderstanding. And I do think a lot of people just misinterpreted what the news was. I still think it's a massive deal because this is the other thing, guys. Let me just say this. BlackRock are aware that this was being done, right? BlackRock are now obviously doing the Bitcoin ETF. If they see how this whole project has gone in terms of their fund being tokenized and BlackRock like it, they say like, oh yeah, this is going well. What's to say that they wouldn't then actually start tokenizing themselves? Right? So they could just watch this from the sidelines now and say, okay, well, we'll see how this goes because, we're looking at crypto now. We're definitely adopting Bitcoin and whatnot, and we're starting to look at other cryptos. So let's just watch and see what happens here. And if they see it being successfully adopted and it all working well and the technology being good in terms of HBAR, why wouldn't they then think, oh, actually, yeah, this is great. So yeah, we'll start tokenizing ourselves on Hedera then. So the possibility is still there. So to me, like, this doesn't really take away from anything. It's only if you really misinterpreted what was being said. That's the only way that this starts to look bad. So, like, in my opinion, I'm not really, like, disheartened by this, if I'll be honest with you. But I think a lot of people have been affected by this. And I do feel for the people who've been affected in terms of the price action because I get it. Like, that sucks, like, that's not something that you want to happen. And it sucks that we had, such an incredible rally, which has clearly been short-lived. But, like, as I was saying before, CoinDesk have had to amend the article And they've had to delete some tweets as well. So, like, it's quite clear that there was a bit of misunderstanding on their behalf. Now, Charles Adkins, the president of Hedera now, he's actually, said in a tweet, like, thanks for talking with us and helping us clear it up because, we're glad that we can be transparent and have communication. So clearly there was some inside talks being done to get that sorted. But the thing is, the damage is done, right? The damage is done. And so this is where I look at it and I'm like, well, is that responsible journalism? Because you've dramatically affected the market. Now, I can't say that the drop wouldn't have happened anyway, but that article could have been a huge catalyst to it. A huge catalyst. Because again, it laid seeds of doubt. And for people who were maybe just seeing the news for the first time, they might be just seeing the news from their perspective and not understanding, well, let me actually read the press statement, see myself and see what I think. And then understanding the real difference of what's going on. So, to me, look, I'm not saying that they did it on purpose because obviously I can't say that for sure. But one thing I did see as well, like I wanted to show you guys this, but I couldn't find the tweet. But they showed you a guy who made a post and he said, when this was said about Ethereum, it was all positive. But now it's been said about HBAR, for some reason it's negative. And I'll be honest with you, I've been covering this a lot in terms of Ethereum because I've been following the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. And there's definitely been some shady goings on with SEC and Ethereum. And like, when I've been seeing Ethereum, anything about them is just so overwhelmingly positive. And it's just weird how when it comes to like other cryptos, it's weird how skeptical people are. And it does make me wonder if, Ethereum have just got a load of people on payroll to support them, but anyone else is negative. Because, Ethereum are looking at a lawsuit right now. I did a quick search on Ethereum to see what the news was showing up as. And all the news was about how Ethereum are suing the SEC. Nothing was showing up about how the SEC are suing Ethereum. And I was like, well, that's strange. Why are they all showing the positive in terms of Ethereum rather than the negative? Right? And also, when the news came out that Ethereum was being sued, the way they were speaking about it, they were saying like, they're trying to stifle innovation. They're trying to stifle one of the most creative asset classes of our generation and stuff like that. But when it was Ripple and XRP being sued, it was negative. It was a completely different ballgame. They were saying real negative stuff. So it is very strange when I see that, to be honest with you. So I don't know if that's just bias because, you've got to understand some of these journalists might be actual crypto holders, right? So if they hold Ethereum, for example, and then they say, oh my God, HBAR's just had, this huge rise. Can I maybe do something to affect that rise? Now, look, that might sound a bit far-fetched, but it's possible. These are just normal people. So you don't always know their intentions. So, I'm just saying, like, I don't know anything for sure. I mean, you don't have to be necessarily just Ethereum holders. There could be, Cardano holders or AVAX holders, whatever, right? It could be anything. But the point that I'm making is, where is this coming from? And I guess maybe they was quick to jump on the news because it was hot news. So I get it. Like, it's something that's real big right now. But look at the damage that it's done. And it's made CoinDesk look bad. It really has. So they've really damaged their credibility. But I'll be honest with you, with this kind of stuff, they shake it off and move on. I don't think this is going to be the end of CoinDesk because they're just so big. And the thing with this kind of stuff is you've got the haters and you've got the fans. The haters are always going to hate. They're always going to be enjoying the negativity, but the fans are always going to defend it. So it's one of those things where the haters are happy to see this. The fans obviously are not happy because it's not supportive. But they will continue to carry on because as long as they continue to cover other cryptos as well, you'll have the haters and the fans. So it's always going to work for them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't think this is going to do anything overall, but I just think like this has had a real huge impact on the price. And I think that's a shame because look, to me, this is something where we could be talking about like market manipulation. Like that's how serious this could be on a worst case basis. On a best case basis, it was just an innocent mistake. But we'll never know. We'll never know. But I will just say this, guys. Look, for me, when it comes to the price, because obviously I know a lot of people have been affected by this and are upset. I'll just say this. To me, this doesn't change anything. And if anything, what you should be looking at now is the fact that the price moved the way it did. Because to me, that's where the positive is here. And I said it in my video when I dropped about the BlackRock tokenization. I said, look, even if the price doesn't go, out of the stratosphere from here, don't worry about that. The point that you should be thinking about here and what you should be taking from this is that HBAR can move. So when it comes to alt season, HBAR should do really well. Because what you've got to understand is what happened here. This was a speculation pump. This wasn't a utility pump. This was the news came out. People got really excited and brought in. That's what happened. So we're not talking about the actual fund going live and people, buying into the fund via Hedera. No, we're talking about the speculation aspect. And that's what this bull run will be made of. So all I'm saying to you guys, if you was worried about the allocation, the HBAR allocation that was given out, diluting the market and whatnot, this should prove to you that, yeah, HBAR can still move. Like, it's not going to be impacted too bad by the allocation release. So to me, I'm excited now because I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, this isn't even the alt season run here. This was just a wild speculation news event. So if we start talking about the actual bull run when we've got trillions going into the market flow, into the market cap of the crypto space, and then you start seeing that money rotating in and out of other cryptos, and then HBAR gets its turn, well, what can that do for HBAR? We've just seen, and just a quick speculation pump, what it can do. So that gets me now excited because I'm thinking, well, where is it going to go long term? It's looking very good to me. So I'm really excited now. So for me, I'll be honest with you, price wise, I'm really not concerned. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys with the original video about the BlackRock tokenization. Like, the thing for me about this is about long-term viability and proof that Hedera is a good network. That's what it's about. Don't just think, oh no, the price has gone down now, so it's dead and it's a scam. No, just know that, look, HBAR can run. So when the alt season rally takes off and HBAR has its turn, I'm expecting fireworks. That was proof to me that HBAR can really go when it needs to go. So I've got huge expectations at this point, and that's just solidifying it for me. So take what you want from this, guys, but overall, I'm not concerned, and I'm very excited to see what happens now with the bull run because it's looking great to me. And that was a great example to just show you guys what HBAR can do. So I have huge expectations now for when we are truly in the alt season rally. And I think things will be good. Really good. But what do you guys think? HBAR BlackRock tokenization misunderstanding. Do you agree with this? Do you think that the BlackRock press release was just a misunderstanding? Do you think HBAR can recover and gain momentum in price? Or do you not agree with this? Do you not think that the HBAR tokenization with BlackRock was a misunderstanding? And do you think that the HBAR price jump was actually manipulated? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.